Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master this evening. Tonight, we are carrying on with... Sorry, I'm screwing around with my volume here. With our ongoing campaign playing... Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. Playing through Carl Sargent's classic Night Below campaign. And with me tonight are the stars of the Night Below campaign. Oh, there we go. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. So we were talking, before we went live, we were talking about an older edition of Call of Cthulhu that had a send-up song of the Chattanooga Choo Choo, but the lyrics were about the road to Great Cthulhu's. So, let me introduce you to who is playing tonight. First up, we have Jeffrey. Who are you? Who are you playing? And what level are you currently?
Hey, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Calidor, and he is a level 6.5 Elven Fighter Thief.
Very nice. And next up is Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Chael. He is a 6th level specialty priest of Coralon. So yeah.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least is our resident armorsmith, Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I'm playing Druin Axebrother. He is a dwarven fighter and specialty priest of Elandin, currently level 6.
Very nice. So, where we last left Chael was in the... You guys had just defeated a pack of orcs, and the orcs had taken hostages. You remember that, Will? Vaguely, okay. So, I
think I'd had some alcohol to help with the vagueness.
Well, that is what happened. It's also, if you're wondering why you're so banged up, and this is the reason you threw yourself right into the scrum to try and take those orcs down. Being the badass, the bad mother. What did we say? The Bible thumping man of God, or the bad motherfucker for God?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
That part I actually do remember.
However, after we left you with that, our other heroes, Calidor and Druin, you guys were there last session. What happened last time? Did you save those hostages, or did you dig a bunch of graves?
We did end up saving them. I don't know exactly. We scared them off. What happened, Dave? Do you remember?
I commanded a couple to run away. That helped a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you guys were trying not to kill the lizard. And then they basically fled to the south, and their buddies that were commanded to run were just coming back when the other guys had already bolted, so they all took off.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got some help from the farming community to fix our boat, and we carried up on down the river after Elanion decided to take the orc's lizard as a pet.
Yep. And then you guys got back to... while you were working on the repairs, you guys had a small encounter. Let's see if I can help with some visual aids here.
Small land shark that nearly killed
the
paladin in a round, and then nearly killed Max in a round, and yeah.
Yep. Here we go.
That thing did it. And it was a baby one, because you weren't even doing full damage to us. Where you kept.
Yeah, no, it was a baby one. We ended with a bit of a cliffhanger where the thing... Here we go. It's from the Bestiary 2, I think. So, it was a very tough scrum for you guys, but you did succeed. And Druin happened to notice that that enormous fin on its back might be useful.
Looks like it would make a really good shield.
That's right. We took the fin.
Most definitely. And then you guys started up the river, right? With Elanion riding his lizard off to the side, and you guys going along. And he gave Frost Scale. You gave a name to him. I can't remember what it was. I guess I got to take a look at the Where do I have you guys right now? Oh, you're on here. Be on the side of the river, I suppose. All right, well, we left with you guys bedding down for the evening. So, let's see what's going to be happening tomorrow. First, Dave, would you kindly, for those listening at home, at the time of recording, we have just experienced, where Dave and I live, a pretty brutal windstorm sufficient to knock a tree down in my backyard. So we have been joking that our resident weatherman has been rolling his double zeros. Let's see if that carries over into the game.
I don't know, Kev.
It's a thankless task, right? You get the blame for when it's shit weather, but you never get the credit for when it's sunny.
That's true.
I, for one, blame the DM. All right. So then, it is raining again today, so I can put that rain back on. That was coming down. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you go. Okay, so it'll be raining today. And it is... Actually, it's only moderate wind. And then it is... let's see here, the precipitation... Yep, it's just rain. And it's going to be raining for hours. So, you guys make your camp this time on the southern bank, rather than the northern bank at... oh, no, I guess you'd have to be the northern bank, because that's where Elanion and the lizard were. So, you guys make camp. Let's see if anything interesting is going to happen today. That's interesting.
Uh-huh.
Let's see how interesting it is. All right.
Rolled up a fang dragon.
Oh, since you rested overnight, and since you have someone with both herbalism and healing, you guys can each heal 3 points. 2 points. 2 points, 3 points. 2 points.
3 points.
3 points,
3.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you get 3 points back, everybody. And Chill, you'll have an opportunity to recover all of your spells that were cast.
Now, Chael, do you have any healing before we go to bed? Like, because if something happens tonight and you're almost dead, you know.
Now, I mean, based on what I've got marked off on my sheet, I think the only thing I cast silence. That's interesting. I don't remember casting that, but that's okay. So, yeah.
Oh, you did cast silence. Yeah.
I cast silence and hold person, it looks like, last time.
So, while you may not have, have had full control of your faculties, you did trust the system, and you marked down your cast spells.
I did. You know, I was coherent enough. You know, it's just a question of coding short-term to long-term.
Absolutely.
That's really the problem. Fully functional, cannot remember anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've got a couple of Cure Lights.
Okay.
So I can cast...
I burned off all my healing everybody up after the last...
Oh, yeah, we got both of them, clerics.
Yeah. Let me cast one on you and one on me.
Well, take them on you. I've got a fair bit, don't I?
You sure?
Yeah, like Druin's got 44.
Yeah, hit points? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty full.
But you look about full.
We're taking a beating.
There.
Nice.
Do it again. For the second. One. Only one. Oh, come on. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better than nothing. That gets me almost back to half.
Yeah. And then you'll gain 3 overnight.
Yep.
As would... and Druin, did you have any spells you wanted to blow? Or you were out, right? You'd already kind of...
Yeah, I'm out of healing for the day.
Okay. All right. So then, morning comes. You guys are getting yourselves ready. You also have Sir Arturius and Sir Reynard with you as well. I suppose, actually, they could have offered laying on hands for Chael at the end of day, because there was nothing further. Assume that one of them would have done it. So that is, they are...
8.
Yeah, 4th level, so it's 8 healing. So you get another 8 points back, Chael.
Cool.
Thanks to the benevolence of St. Cuthbert.
7.
And then I need
Yeah.
A little over an hour to pray for spells.
Okay.
Let's see, I had 2 that I burned. Let me go. I think they're both second level. Yeah, they're both second level. So I think that's 40 minutes.
Okay, and then...
oh, yeah, that's right. I burned the 2 Cure Lights.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need an hour.
Druin, how many do you need? How much time do you need to prep your spells?
Just a little over an hour.
Okay. All right. And you guys have a river to, plenty of fresh water here, so you're good there. Anything else you guys wish to do before you set sail?
I'm going to heal myself.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Guess I feel the need to get moving a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm almost full now. Shale, do you need some healing?
I mean, yeah, it's not going to hurt, especially if we run into something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
6
So
points.
4 points. Cool. 2. Yeah.
Okay. So you actually should reach Thermaster today as well. Okay. Guys, fully topped up here, or as topped up as you're going to be?
I think we're as topped up as we're going to be at this point.
Good stuff. All right. So then, guys, the morning comes and you guys get off into the boat. The rain is coming down, and it is not... Actually, it doesn't last all that long. It's only an hour's worth of rain, and then it peters off, and you spend the rest of the day riding through... Oh, of course. Jeepers. Riding through the... what do you call it? Through overcast skies, but otherwise perfectly pleasant weather. You make your way through the redwood, the undisturbed forest there. You see the tracks of giant toads and frogs lurking along the side. Keep your eyes open for that, but fortunately it causes no difficulties for you. And it's a little later in the day when you guys are rolling in to Thermaster. So, there's a few things that are different about Thermaster since you were last here. One of the things is that, obviously, that palisade that you guys helped rebuild, that's different from what's in this illustration. But even as you're pulling up, you can see that it seems like there's a lot more people here. You don't really get advantage of it until you get close to the where the docks are, but when you get there, you can see that there's quite a few more people in town than there were before. And in addition to the houses that are inside the palisade now being occupied, there are kind of like open tents that seem to be set up to kind of accommodate people. You also can see that there are some armed troops, the troops of that have Lord Palfrey's sigil or crest on them. But you also see some unfamiliar faces who seem to be walking guard or working guard duty here too, perhaps hired mercenaries. So, as you guys disembark in here, the person who's working the the docks or the dockmaster? Is that I'm thinking of? Harbor master.
Yeah.
It's not really a harbor, but I mean the person responsible for taking care of that. They come up, and they want to take stock of everything, and when they see the giant carcass, the belay there, good God, what is that thing?
The land shark, damn it, haven't you ever seen one?
No, I have not. What is it doing here?
Well, I hadn't seen one until a couple days ago either, so it's all right.
He kind of like is trying to make sense of and realizes that there's nothing more to be said. He's like, what is this thing here? Is it dead?
Should have seen how many times I hit it with my axe.
So the what is your intent here? Is this here for sale? Trade? Food?
With him?
What's that?
Drew looks at Calidor and whispers, "Should I keep fucking with him?" Calidor.
No, scare him all you want, friend.
You guys are no fun.
Well,
I've obviously never seen something so dangerous.
well, what is your
Up close.
intent with it here? There is no taxidermist in town.
Well, I believe the wizard in town is likely to find many of the. What did the Elanion say? With the organs were important, or maybe it was the blood vessels, or I can't remember.
So this is a delivery for Toster.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a delivery; it's more of a sale, I think.
So he turns around and he yells out, "Protocol 2! Protocol 2!" And everyone sort of runs inside, and you can hear his windows, shutters close, and things like that. You get the sense that things that have been delivered for Toster before may not have been the safest things. So you have completely unobstructed view to get things get this massive thing off of the boat, and then transport it where you will.
June turns to the guy that we've been sailing with. He goes, "When you're as important as us, they give you lots of space to do your things."
And you kind of like, I see. You get the distinct impression that ever since the encounter with the Bullet, his and the goblins, I guess, his eagerness to continue on with you guys has really kind of cratered. And he seems quite eager to rid himself of you.
We're the heroes of Heronshire because bad shit happens to us.
Exactly.
And we somehow manage to survive, and that's really the story of our lives.
Exactly. Less so much that you are heroes seeking out and defeating evil, more so that just a bunch of shit keeps happening to you guys that happens to help others. That's what his theory of the case is, at least. Yeah.
He's not wrong.
All right. So, how do you think you're going to get this thing transported to Toster then?
I think we should go and tell Toster what we have. Maybe he's got some method of transporting it, or maybe he'll tell us he doesn't want half of it, dump it in the water. I don't know.
Yeah, rather than carrying it there, we could find a way to dispose of it.
Okay.
So
we don't have a wizard with us, though. You might not recognize any of us because none of us actually trained with him.
No, I don't know that any of us do know him very well.
I think that he definitely knows, he knows Knox and he knows Dorman better than you guys. But I think he has actually greeted you guys before. He's at least familiar with you guys.
We could bring up their names too.
Yeah. Well, and also you all collectively helped out with that task with the giants. In both cases, you guys helped rebuild the whole thing, or rebuild the palisades around here. So
that is true.
Yeah. So you guys make your way over to through the streets, and again, like it's surprising to you for this place with how dead it was last year. It seems thriving right now, and to the point where it's effectively like kind of a medieval, street food vendor who seems to be competing with the tavern in town. Given the quality of the eel pies there, perhaps it's not a surprise that having anything that won't get you viciously ill is a welcome competitor. But it's really the town has definitely sprung up.
Druin walks up with digs out some silver and goes, like, dozen silver or so, and he's like, "What can I get for this?"
Yeah, I think, what do they have on offer? They have grouse. They've got roast grouse. Someone's been pulling some things, and they've got eel fillets.
I'll eat the grouse.
Okay. So they get you the grouse. The grouse is a little bit more expensive than the other, but it's pretty good. You also see there's a lot of kids around here, much more so than you saw before. There were some of those kids, you recognize one or two of them, now a little older, who were teasing what's his name, Squire Marlin from before, the squeaky-voiced guy who is the resident. Where is he here?
Calidor will ask our the person serving us.
Yep.
What's with the influx of new faces?
He looks and he says, "It's been new to town then?"
We've been here before. How long ago, roughly? Like almost a year ago now, right?
It's the lizard folk. The terror from the mire. They've been attacking towns all around this region, raiding. They've even been scouting the walls here. We've not yet seen the attack, but they've been getting closer and closer.
Well, maybe we've arrived just in time.
For what good it'll be. We've heard tell that folks have seen the Queen of the Mire aloft.
Mm-hmm. She's big. 250 feet, easy. Just a good grouse, by the way. Calidor should have some.
Sure, bring me one of the grouse as well.
So you notice, as you're digging into these, you guys notice that some of those kids, some of the kids are they're looking a little thin. And they've got the kind of sunken-in cheeks of folks not necessarily eating well. And Druin, I know you for sure are a veteran of the Greyhawk Wars. And I don't think, having marched up and down the Ulek states fighting the hordes of Turosh Mac, you're familiar with the look of refugees. And that definitely is what the many of the folks who are in here look like.
How many grouse does this guy have on?
He's
sale right now?
Oh, probably certainly enough to get any of the kids fed.
Okay. Druin's just going to say, I want that one, and 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 that one. He's going to go until the guy's completely empty. And then he's just...
Okay.
How much?
Let's say it's probably, 5 gold to get everything, maybe? What's the cost of a meal? Hold on, let me see here.
Let's make it 6.
Sure, I don't want to rip you off here. Let's see.
I just feed more kids then.
Well, you could buy some eel food as well.
I think the kids want to eat eel. Who wouldn't want to eat eel?
No,
Dorman's
but
the one who wants to eat eel.
It's sort of a local delicacy. Like it's
yeah, I was thinking to say somebody was all about eating the eel, eel pies.
Because that's Dorman. He's got enjoy them. He's been enjoying those pickled eels from.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
All right.
In Melbourne. Okay, so like a meal. Let's see here.
You know what would work good there, Druin, old buddy?
We just yell out free food, and then everybody
let's say,
comes around.
You know what? It's just 3 silver pieces. Is
maybe if we knew a guy who could just pray to his god, and food and water would appear.
Yeah, but nobody wants to eat that stuff, Calidor.
I beg to differ.
So he happily distributes the stuff amongst the kids, and they're just like scarfing the stuff down as if they hadn't ate in a while. And you actually notice that one or two of them are actually stuffing some, like they don't finish the whole thing, and they're stuffing it in something. And if you think to ask, they're actually one of them is bringing it back to their parents.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So if you talk to more folks in town, what you've heard is, or you talk to them, there's been like this whole summer has just been a terror of lizard folk attacks, and the stories that the kids tell of them, like how they look strange, that they've killed a fair amount of people. There's at least 30 people dead from some of the various outlying communities. Most knew just to run, but yeah. And Palfrey has been trying, Lord Palfrey himself, or Count Sandor Palfrey. Count Palfrey is, apparently he took ill this year, so he's been, unfortunately, ill, and his son has been forbidden. He wanted to ride out and eliminate them with the support of the House Guard, but the Count prohibited him from doing that. And then the sightings of the, or the alleged sightings of the Queen of the Mire, that's definitely got people thinking, like, if he rides out there, they're going to die. So, it's not long till you get to the families. Druin, if you distribute that food to them, they are extraordinarily grateful as well. And
I'll just keep buying this guy's food until he's out, and then tell him to go home for the day.
No, he's thrilled to do that. He actually will help you bring if you're intending on transporting some of the food over, he'll bring that over. He even grills up more of what he had that he just didn't prepare. So, assume
Chill,
that.
do you want some eel pie?
No, I'm good.
It might be a now or never kind of thing because we're giving it all away.
Yeah, I've made a vow never to eat eel pie.
Yeah. So the, after you bring the food, I think that they are encamped probably at the far end of town here, like around here. It's just sort of been turned over for it. You can see that the watchtower over the main gates there too. There are, again, it's a mixed company of people who are looking down too. So it seems as if either Palfrey or the locals have paid for adventurers to serve as mercenaries here.
Sounds good.
Okay.
You guys want to go walk around and talk to some folks, or you want to get to Toster first and then try and unload that?
Well, now that we fed them, let's deal with the land shark.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
inquire
we'll
more
talk to
about these
Toster.
lizard folk after.
I think our merchant friend would be eager to either unload his goods and move on, or he didn't look too pleased with us. I'll say that.
Yes, I think we should free him of our dead carcass.
Okay. So you guys head over to the far end of town, and you see, I think, as you're making your way along, Calidor, you definitely run into, where is she? Not Perella. Where is she? Oh, Baranus, right. Smuggler King.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. She sees and kind of, does a quick up and down and just nods towards you. And then goes back to... Yeah, the three men that she's talking to, who all seem... You come to know her fairly well and from your last batch of time with her. And she's... suffers brooks no kind of insolence. So the three, grown men are all kind of like, hey, definitely talking to her in a way that is reactive and subservient to her. Mm-hmm. You make your way to the far side, and now that the tower, Toster's tower is largely there for storage, more so than anything else. You'll find him in the hovel that is or the cottage, I guess, that's attached to it. You guys knock on the door, and then you hear kind of a crash and no! There's another explosion from within. And you hear him kind of muttering, or someone muttering inside. And then the door is thrown open, and this acrid kind of cloud of violet and with little bits of dust coming in, or little bits of light coming in, billows out. It smells like a strong, like ammonia kind of chemically smell to it. And out from within comes old Toster, still smoking his pipe as well, too.
Who is it? Who comes to my town? Druin! Chill! Calidor! What are you here for?
Jill,
a doorman? Knox, are
Oh,
they
sure.
with you as well?
They're coming up the river soon.
Good, good. What are you here for? Is it...
What time is it? What day is it? What
It's not winter yet.
What are all these people doing here? Look at this.
Ah. You see-
Apparently, the town is sheltering some refugees.
Oh,
The
yes,
lizard
yes.
folk have
Yes.
come down from the mire.
It's the mire, of course. Of course, the mire. Oh, the lizard folk. And that damned worm. What brings you here? You're not coming to dabble in the arcane, are you? It's only truly the gifted who may learn from my ancient arts.
Well, speaking of your ancient arts, we have slain a fearsome creature. And we have thought that maybe some of its organs or body parts would be of use to you.
What kind
A
of beast do
lamb
we...
shark?
What do you... His pipe is just kind of hanging from his lips.
What?
Kieran just reaches out and lifts the pipe up a little bit.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you, young man. What? What? A land shark? Are you
Yeah,
sure?
I'm keeping the
Fearsome
fin.
beast. We're very sure.
It's not
Nearly killed several of our group.
It does sound like what a land shark would do, but are you sure?
I think at this point I have one of the teeth with me.
Okay, yeah,
So
oh yeah,
I'll-
yeah.
The teeth. You can show it to him.
Oh,
And you would not think with your, you're an elf, so you're a little lither than what, say, a man would be, but you're strong, and you're wearing armor, and you're wearing, other stuff, but in spite of all of that, he's still able to pull you forward when he's looking at this tooth like, oh!
what's this? And you have the whole thing.
Yes,
Oh, I've
we've
got
brought it.
I've got a- I've
It's
got
on a
claw in my
boat
bag.
here at
Let's see
the
the
top.
claw.
Where,
Sorry, Calendar.
where is it? Did you bring it with you?
Oh. Yes, come with us to the dock.
Oh, the docks, of course.
Of course! And he starts walking out, and you realize he's got no shoes on, he's wearing a smock to work on things, but he's got no pants on.
All right,
Um,
come on.
And do you have any idea how we can get it back to your lab, tower, whatever? Because it's pretty big.
Oh.
Bleeding all over the boat right now.
Oh. Perhaps I, wait here. He turns and you get a lovely view of the hindquarters of this old man who's been clearly working at the alchemy stove for a while. You hear rummaging around inside, a little bit of cursing, and then he comes out, and it seems like he's found his robes. He's taken his leather smock off. He's put on some a proper robe, and he has a scroll with him, and or a scroll tube. And he says, "This should do it. We'll still need you to put your backs into it, and a cart. Now, hold." And he walks over to the side of the tower. "Oh, good. Still here. If you might bring that." And he gestures to, like, a hand-pulled cart. "Normally I would pay one of the children to do this, but, you seem
Sure.
stronger." So,
Do we have 10 minutes? Do I need to be really strong? Because I could,
well, it depends how big, how large and grown this... I mean, this tooth, and he once again kind of yanks you down, Calidor. His tooth. Where did this come from in its mouth?
June will just start pulling the empty cart. We can start talking along the way.
Near the back.
This was one of its back teeth. Incredible. And come, let's go. And he seems to be almost skipping along as he's making his way towards the front. I mean, Druin, it's not, you're a very strong dwarf, so it's not, but perhaps this isn't really set up ideally to be pulled by someone of your frame. You guys are able to make your way across, through everyone, and Toster is sort of like waving his staff in front of him, getting everyone out of the way. Make way, go! And as soon as he gets a view of it, he just stops dead, and is like,
Oh. By all the gods, I never thought I'd see such a thing. Oh. Oh.
Guess Knox was right.
And you get in, and he's just walking up and down this thing. And he's tapping the side, and like where his wooden staff hits the hull, the hide of the thing, the surface there, it's like hitting a piece of wood against a stone. Because you guys know well just how tough and durable the hide is. He says, "Incredible! Your weapons, I imagine, were barely able to pierce this hide. No?
That's correct.
How did you bring it down? Oh, the eye.
Yes. I managed to land a blow right through his eye.
I suppose that only leaves one for study and experimentation, but I suppose if you had not taken out that eye, perhaps we'd be studying its remains, no? Did you cut its stomach out?
I believe somebody did.
Yeah, that's what Elanion did. He actually ruined his dagger doing that.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. The nerd elf was digging around in there trying to see if there's anything inside.
From what I hear, some of the most powerful and potent acids churn in the stomach of a boule.
Luckily, we were not put in there.
Indeed. Though... wait. And he looks over at Nicholas. Who are you? And he's like, I'm the kid. This is my... You've got to get this... And Toster is like, he's the transport. Do we owe him anything? And Nicholas is kind of like, no.
We might have ruined his boat. It's pretty bloody now. I don't know. We might need some cleaning. I'll kick in for that.
Well, we're... Sure. If he's transported this here, I'll pay for the goods, but transport is a price of your business, no?
Yeah.
You can tell he's got his haggling face on right now.
Druin's like, I need to, while you guys are working this out, I'm going to just go over here praying to clang it in.
Very well, very well. Then, we need to move this thing. And hold on. And he pulls out that old scroll of his. He knocks the top off, and you see little brittle bits of wax fall down the side that looks like this has been sealed for quite some time. He pulls it out, unravels it. I hope this works. And he reads something out, and you can see it's that similar ancient and occult language that you guys have heard Knox and Dorman speak many times before. And at the completion, he touches this thing, and you see that the size of it just... It shrinks to be about maybe a third of the size that it was before. There. I don't know how much of a difference that will make, but it should fit in the cart then. Like, even then, it's still, because it was like 2 tons before, so this is just down to a measly, I guess, what is that,
700?
Yeah. So it's still quite heavy, but I mean, between you guys are able to get on there. He says, hurry, though. Hurry. This will not last forever.
All right.
Druin's casting a spell on himself.
Nicholas kind of looks and says, could none of you done that?
Have you seen us cast magic?
Well, And you kind of leave him confused. Toster says, come on, bring it. Bring this thing. So he gets you guys to bring it through town. It is most definitely a event. as soon as sort of the word gets around that this massive thing is being pulled through town, you can see this crowd is gathering between it, and people are like, "Is that a dragon? Is it a dragon? No, it's some kind of it's a lizard. No, it's something from the water. It's a hippo." And this is sort of what follows around, and Toster is kind of talking out loud to himself as to how he's going to store this. I could have it perhaps in a shed. I could build it, or a tent. No, a pit. No. And this just carries on until you guys get to the tower. And what he has, what he lands on is that you guys will try and transport it inside his hovel. And you guys have been inside his house before, and you've seen the size of this thing when it's at its full size. You're fairly confident there is no room for it in there. So that's his plan, is for you guys to help him get this thing inside. You are welcome to try and change his mind or provide suggestions, or you can help him get this thing in there and wait for what happens when his spell, the duration of his spell expires.
Druin's like, isn't the tower like bigger than your place?
It is, but it's full of things, you see.
If you put this in here, this will be beyond full once that spell expires.
True, but then I can... Oh.
And it's kind of messy.
And you did say it was quite hard to cut, no?
Yes.
It was.
Then a vivisection would be quite... Yes. I will pay you for the carcass, and... Once again, the bartering face comes on for Toster. He's got both hands on his staff, and he's leaning in to let you know he means business now. Then... you must also retrieve for me a tarp and set up a structure at the side of the tower. My final offer. You get the impression it's probably not his final offer, but...
How much are we getting for this, Caldor?
I don't know.
You pay for the top, and we'll put it up.
Indeed, of course, but you retrieve it. I must see to situating this, and unfortunately, you guys have spent he never told you how long this was going to last, and this is around the time when it gets the full size and then subsequently smashes the cart.
I was fixing to say the cart.
Yeah. Whew. And see if you can get a cart as well. Something to borrow. Bigger than the last. So what do you guys wish for this? Are you going to let him set the price, or do you have a price in mind?
I mean, the problem is we have no idea.
Yeah.
This is awesome. It's like when what do you call it? A layman steals jewels. Awesome. I got these. I have no idea what these are worth.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. What are you thinking? So you'll have time away from him too, as you're going to get the tarp from Baranus' store.
We let him set the price. We raise it. We take his second offer.
Yeah,
I think that's very shrewd of you, Mr. Thief. I mean, tradesman.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Druin gives you a wink.
Okay. So as you step into the Baranus' store, you can see there's a couple of people in here. It's not terribly busy, and she seems to have concluded her business with those other people. One of her staff she has a staff member now too, a young woman who seems to be running the shop, as it were, greets you as you all walk in. And then Baranus looks over at you, Caldor. You're back then. Been some time.
Has been some time.
Caldor, are you back to visit, passing through, or are you here to stay for a time?
Oh,
I'm not sure. I know it for sure. We must make our way to Palfrey's Keep. Whether we shall return here for some time. Were we planning on wintering here? I can't remember.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we plan to spend the winter here.
Yeah. Really? Well, if you are looking for something to keep yourself occupied, we should catch up.
Yeah, I think Calidor wants to move some more boxes.
Well, she would have actually not had that conversation around you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would have made a point of having it with him separately.
Yeah, but I failed my etiquette roll, and I wanted Druin to accidentally blurt out something about Calidor, and
that's fine. The thing is that they this is her profession is as a smuggler, so she would have, and Calidor is also quite surreptitious when he wants to be. So unfortunately, maybe you said something foolish to the shopkeep.
Probably something foolish to somebody. That's true.
Yep. So then she just leaves it with, then come by when you can.
We will.
Okay.
Maybe it's just a Calidor then.
Yeah.
So you're able to get what you need from here. Let's say that it costs you about, let's say 25 gold. Well, actually,
25 gold.
He's going to reimburse you for it anyway. So you get that, and then okay. So the etiquette roll is you were trying to get to borrow someone's cart, and I take it. Did you turf that roll? What happened?
Oh yeah, he bit it hard.
Yeah. So what do you think happened, Dave?
Well, I totally got I called the shopkeeper Milord, or perhaps maybe their highness, and something totally inappropriate, and then it totally set the conversation off on the wrong tap, because now they're thinking I think they're royalty, so they're going to charge us way more than they need to.
What if you were trying to be polite and whatnot, but because you were so terribly overplaying it that it just came across as sarcastic? Well, hello, my lord. How wonderful to make your acquaintance. Of all people, you look wonderful and very well fed and mostly free of lice. Now, let's talk about prices for this terrible piece of shit wagon of yours. And that's when you guys kind of walk out, and he's being chased away. There's like a woman is holding back her husband from shouting at Druin. Get out of here! Get out of here! Don't come back! I don't want to see your kind around here again! And Druin is just trying to make up for it, so he keeps like low bowing as he's walking away.
Oh, good intentions.
Good intentions indeed. So then, you guys are lacking for a wagon. Do you have any other thoughts as how are you going to move this thing to the side and put together this this kind of like tent for him to work out of?
We could check at the store and see if there's anything we could buy that would, as far as a tent or a tarp or a couple tarps.
I think there's likely your best bet would be to fashion something with because there is probably some kind of not like a permanent pulley structure, but something to move heavy stuff out of the boats and onto the surface. Something that the stevedores would use. In a larger port, it would be stevedores who would be doing that work. But maybe someone, if you could convince somebody to help you with that, they may be able to put something together just to get that belay into the spot where it needs to be. Or you just
some sort of block and tackle.
Yeah, I mean, the upside is as well, you guys are all quite strong, and this thing is pretty darn tough. So you're not really worried about it tearing apart, per se.
Yeah.
What do you think? Just plain muscle, try and convince someone to get a pulley system?
Yeah.
What if we just got... they don't have a lot of horses, do they?
No.
I mean, like, how far are we trying to move it?
Not far. A matter of maybe about 50, 60 feet.
Yeah, I was thinking just strap it, just tie some horses to it and get them to drag it along.
Yeah, no.
They don't have more.
No. Do you have goats? No. No goats.
Well, there are lots of adults here who could use some coin, Druin.
Yep.
But if we were to offer a few silver to each man who helps us drag this through town, or to where we need it.
You certainly have ingratiated yourself to the folks in the town, so there's lots who would be eager to do that.
Yeah.
Sounds
at least
like
among the refugees.
Would buy them their next meals as well.
Yeah.
I like that idea, Calidor. It sounds like a stimulus package.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, you guys are already involved in local politics.
Yeah.
The Heronsure economic stimulus package.
Druin for mayor?
Okay. As you guys are making your way over, what you do notice is that standing in the doorway of the tavern, I gotta look up the name again. I don't remember offhand what the name of the tavern in Thermaster is. You guys never go here, so... Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's like the Swillen Swine or something like that. I don't know.
The Hound and Tails.
Knew it was pretty close.
Yeah, and what you see standing at the door is Weismar. Weismar was the owner of there, and seeing you guys making your way along, you see him and then another man that you've recognized from your time that you were here before, who seems to be glaring at you guys as you're going by, and at the kind of crowd that's there.
Druin gives him a wave. I like the beard. You're almost dwarven.
The guy standing next to him leans in and kind of says something to him, and he just spits down on the ground.
What does the other guy look like?
It just looks like another town, and like he probably a farmer, or perhaps someone who works the what do you call it? One of the just a laborer in town. But maybe that's where you recognize him from, actually, is he's one of the guys who's been first to work as a stevedore, helping to unload the docks there. But they seem like Weismar just certainly doesn't, is more of a biological terrorist than he is a cook. But he's not been unfriendly to you before. He's not been. This is a very different mood that he seems to have, as does the other guy.
Maybe it's because we didn't come in and buy eel pies and we sold out his local food cart guy.
His glares don't seem to be restricted to you. It's at the folks that are with you, the kids kind of running along.
It's this guy's deal.
So, however, while Weismar is not it certainly doesn't greet you with open arms and a welcome, back. The folks in the community, when you guys make your way in, how do you guys sort of announce that you're looking for people?
Probably just shout it out. Essentially, we need some help. The men all kind of hop up and yes, of course. And then this is like men from probably 14 or 15 up until about their early 60s are all getting up. You end up with a crowd of about maybe 20 people.
All right, that's good. We need all your muscles. We're gonna have to move something really big and heavy. The big thing we were moving through on the cart. It's now.
Okay.
How big is the jail? 3-4 times bigger? I don't know.
3 times.
3 times bigger, and we need some muscles, and we're willing to pay.
Oh, there's a lot of excited chatter in the crowd. As soon as it with pay, oh, yeah. There's even one old guy who kind of like tries to get up, and his daughter's like, no. Oh. So you guys collect this crowd of about 20 guys, and you're making your way back. The 20 farmers seem quite eager to help, and you pass by the I've already forgotten the Hound and Tail again, and again Weismar and this guy are still as they go by, and then you guys are back to where Toster has basically started drawing out on the ground. He's drawing lines. Hi, sweetie. Anna says hi. Hi, sweetie pie. The lines for where the tent is going to be. So you guys walk over, and he says, "Oh, you found folk then, and a lot of them. Where did all these people come from?"
They're eager to help.
Good. Help is what we like. Then come. I have a way in mind here. Oh, bear with me a second here, guys. Sorry.
Galador, you can tie the ropes and stuff. You're good with knots, right?
I'm good enough, I'm sure.
Excellent.
Is there an actual skill for that?
Sorry, guys. Okay.
Rope use skill? I don't remember.
Hold on.
There is a rope use skill, yeah. Does anyone have rope use? I know Dorman does.
No.
That's fine. But
escape wands is kind of rope use in reverse.
It is, but that's like saying someone with skill in demolitions could build a building, and it's not.
Well, I don't know about that. It's a little more intricate than that. If you took the building down brick by brick,
which would probably be a feat of engineering as opposed to a feat of demolitions. So, I think in any event, I think Toster will be able to figure out a way to work this out. And I mean, the farmers are used to dragging heavy things and improvising stuff. So imagine and these are all guys who are used to kind of doing it themselves as well too. So it very quickly degenerates into one dad in the neighborhood's building a fence, and then a bunch of others suddenly appear out of nowhere. That's the situation here. And if you guys don't want to involve yourselves with it, or if you don't at least involve yourself very quickly, they quickly sort of take it upon themselves to figure out how to do this.
And that's fine. We can step aside and not even have to do anything.
Yep. So the
we should go over and negotiate with Toster then while they're moving the carcass for us.
Okay. And what you see is you walk over to Toster, and he's on the side there, and he's just puffing away on his pipe. Yes. He's studying the work. Yes, completely oblivious to you guys as you walk up.
Perhaps something in the billery ducts. I'll have to read. I must see. And how long have you been there?
Only a few moments.
Oh, good help you found. This will be wonderful.
They're pretty eager.
Indeed, one of them is a carpenter as well. He'll be building me an actual palisade for it. I'll have perfect privacy to conduct the vivisection. Another
I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds very important.
Oh, most important.
I need to take records too. And you see, you've lost him once again into reverie. He's staring off into space, puffing on his pipe. So you'll have to kind of get him back if you want him.
Yes, I can get it and write it down, and we could put it in. We can record it in Draconic so no one would read.
Yes. Toster.
Hey!
Old friend.
How long have you been there?
Only a few moments.
Huh.
We need to negotiate a price.
A price? I'll not charge you anything for this.
Well, you shall pay us for the beast.
Oh, of course, of course. Suddenly a little bit of lucidity chips in. You get the feeling that he may have been trying to bamboozle you. Oh, of course. A fair price, a fair price. Do you have a... Well, yeah, it's your labor to transport it here. Felling the beast is something you needed to do to not die, so I won't pay for that. But the recovery, and I suppose... Oh, Druin, did you want to point out that you want to take the fin for yourself?
It's already been cut off, so...
Oh, yeah,
It's like-
right.
It's like strapped to my back in a...
Okay, so he says, well, you've taken the fin. Though I suppose as trophies go, it's more impressive than the teeth.
There's still plenty of teeth there for you, friend.
Oh, most certainly. Well, two things they don't lack for. Teeth and hunger.
Yeah,
Well, you should also
Elanion-
account for the rarity of such a beast.
Of course. Such a find. Incredible. Now, let's see. Let's see. Oh, you know what I'll do, guys? Actually, give me one more second. This time I'm not close.
Yeah.
My son's playing video games with his cousin tonight, and if you think I'm loud, Apple does not fall far. So to spare everyone him screaming at the TV, I've closed his door. But let me just quickly go grab... I got another book, actually, that I think will be of value here.
Another book.
It is in the other room, though. Give me one sec.
Galador's
auxiliary
Guide to
line.
Selling Magical Beasts.
Do we have any idea of... Do we want any magic items or potions or anything from him instead of just straight up gold?
I think we also have guys that need to do some training. So,
Oh, who do still pay?
I think so. Like
That
Knox.
I don't.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do think they pay, so we should probably
Are we able to-
negotiate for them.
Are we able to look at their sheets? No. Kev can.
Maybe that's something we wait for his offer, and rather than raising his offer, we
Get him throwing some
try to
training.
include the training for free.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Healing magic?
Who needs healing magic?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, let's see here.
Trying something totally different on the dice bag thing today.
Yeah, what are you trying?
It's going to be a brown bottom with a rim of green, so it's going to be like ground and grass. And then I'm going to do like light blue to dark blue, and then there's going to be 3 triangles in gold for the Triforce. And then on the other side, I'm going to do a sword, so it's going to be like a Legend of Zelda kind of bag.
Very cool. Holy hell. That sounds awesome. Awesome. Okay. Trying to find a comparable price here for this.
Yeah, it's honestly not the easiest thing to price in a game.
Well, it's in... I have a list of a bunch of other comparable things. This particular game does not have bullets in it, unfortunately.
Oh.
So I don't want to under-reward you guys by selecting something that's not where it'll be worth more. But at the same time, I want to over-reward as well. Here we go. So he looks through and he thinks of the skin, teeth, gizzard, the biliary ducts. Yes, and altogether, perhaps. What would you say then What would you say to say 3,000 gold?
Hmm.
Druin will wipe some drool from his mouth.
No, we were carefully planning this. Kev, out of character though, would we know if Knox or Dorman still have to pay for training? Because they would have been talking about it.
Yes, Knox does, I think. Let's see. Well, I can check his level. What am I doing here? Come on, Kev. Get your
I
head
know
out of
Knox
here.
100%.
Yeah, I don't think that Dorman does. I think Dorman is level 6 already. But let's double check here as well.
Okay.
Let's see.
And you don't pay from 6 to 7?
John's not in chat, is he? I know he's
I haven't
working late
seen him.
tonight. Sometimes
He
he
was working.
lurks. He lurks.
I don't see outrageously money in the chat.
Mm.
I mean, he also might not be chatting until we ask him.
So, I'm not sure if he's got his numbers listed wrong here. Here we go. He's a 5th level wizard. So he would need to pay for training, for sure.
Okay.
And I think if he needs to, then it's very likely that Knox would as well.
I think
I'm basically 100% that Knox does.
Yeah. Knox is level 5 going on 6. Yeah, so both of them would need to pay for training still. Why? What are you thinking?
Calidor elbows Druin. Spit it out, friend.
Well,
Have you
Gold is
something to
all
say
well.
then?
gold is all well and good. What do you have in waves of healing potions or magic? And we have 2 guys that need some training still. Knox and Dorman need to come in for training, and wondered if maybe you'd be able to, help in that regard as well.
In addition to 3,000 gold pieces.
Well, it's also doing the community a service. The more powerful spells they cast, the easier it is to defend the town from lizard folks. Did I just sign us up for defending the town from lizard folks?
What makes you, he leans in, what makes you think my concern is protecting the town?
I don't think it's the town, but you're in the town, so protecting your tower and your hovel and your experiment things.
Yes, if the town falls, the lizards will destroy your own tower.
And then you'll have paid for 3,000 gold for a thing that you can't even use.
But they'll be staying. The winter will be free. It's the spring when they may return. Are you saying that those 2 are offering to protect us in the spring when they return?
I don't know. We did find what did Knox call that thing? The Underdark? We did find a way into the Underdark, and we heard that was going to be dangerous.
So
Yeah,
you
but
and
the lizard men don't normally reside in the Underdark. They normally reside in swamps.
Yep.
Right. So we wouldn't be staying here necessarily if we wanted to go back into the Underdark to track down the source of the missing wizards and such.
Yeah.
Right. We could stay here as well into the spring and attempt to contact the lizard men. Because I think we run into them once upon a time and they didn't kill us.
I don't think you've encountered lizard folk at all.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else then. That
The only reason he asks is to clarify what the offer is, because over the winter they're not going to come. They're dormant in the winter. And he stops.
Okay.
He's considering still. He's got. You can tell he's thinking heavily on it because the puffs of and rings of smoke that are coming out are coming in longer intervals. I have no healing potions to offer. I am no priest. But
I see that you have business calling to you from elsewhere. If they stay with me and assist me until spring, that training will not take the whole winter. So you can't purchase magic items in AD&D. So like a discount on them.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's not like
My bad.
no, that's okay. No, it's there's so many editions that you can do that in. And
Yeah,
honestly, I think a lot of people house rule that you could do that kind of stuff too, but I just don't. This guy is
No,
it's
that's
too small of a town. But what he could offer is, if he's going to take both of them in, he'll offer you 2,000 and the training, and I will, over the winter, I will find something for each of them to bring with them that I have no further use for in my tower. Those
Not
terms,
purchasing, it's more trade.
those terms are acceptable?
Those terms are acceptable.
Wonderful! Then, hurry! We need to build this tent. I can't imagine that the smell gets better with time. So he hustles over, and you guys, we see now, I guess, a sequence of you guys and the farm folk, making their way, and we can see from a distance, we see Weismar and his ally walk past, and and they do not seem, they give you a dirty look, but otherwise, you guys get to work. So we're going to skip forward about a week, guys, as you guys are getting yourselves settled into here. Your allies have finally arrived and are setting themselves up in Toster's tower and whatnot. Word has gone up. Well, up to you guys. Do you think you would send word up to Count Parfrey in Parfrey's Keep?
I thought I can't remember, but I thought some of the party were actually going to go there.
They will in time. I think to start with, there's a couple of things that have kept you occupied here. And the other thing that kept you here too is you've been waiting for Max to show up. Because Max talked over and he wanted to get word of the orcs. It was agreed that getting word to Kuiper so he could send word to Serene and to Geralt about this orc and then start strategizing a response, that would be necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason you're waiting a week is because he was supposed to be here after a span of maybe about 3 days. Because it was a day for him to get back there at the same time, and then it was going to be 3 days or so for him to get back down here. Even if you allow for a day of him, fucking around with his family. 3 days pass, still no sign of Max. A fourth day passes. And give us a D3 roll. Which of you would be most interested in checking in on Toster and his progress? What do you think, guys?
I wouldn't. I would be checking on Brannis if anything.
Yeah.
She said to come here, so.
I guess probably Chael.
Okay. So, Chael, you've made your way up, and what he says to you is, this is, he walks out in his smock, is covered in gore and whatnot, and he's got, he's making his way over to a bucket to kind of clean the gore that's on his big leather gloves, and he sees you. Chael! Chael! How good to see you. Good day.
How goes everything?
Wonderful. It's fascinating. The strangest thing, too, the teeth. You can tell how old they are with their teeth, or at least so the volumes I have consulted tell me. It's quite impressive. There's quite a bit, and he starts going on about the book, and you realize he's lost his train of thought that he was going to tell you about. Because you see, there was a time outside of the kingdom of Kildan, they had an infestation of the Boulets, and they took them down, and you may live forever, but he won't, so you might want to interrupt him at some point.
So, how old have you determined?
Wait. Oh, yes, of course, of course. Well, you see, I can tell from the rings in this. The rings have teeth. Come see it, come see it. He brings you in and shows you sort of like I'm picturing it's kind of like a shark's teeth where you get the rows of the stuff. So it's like that, but they're spiraling out. And you sort of shudder at the thought of you. I know your character wasn't necessarily there for it in the session, but I imagine he would have gone through that as well. So seeing like this thing could have easily, swallowed a torso without any worry. It was an infant, quite young, you see.
And in your
he holds
readings,
he holds up
is it normal?
He holds up his staff to the quite a long staff to kind of measure the diameter of it. He says, "See," and he holds it up, and it's a good, almost 6 feet across.
6 foot, yeah.
Hey.
So, does the ecology, would it be normal to find a quote-unquote infant by itself?
Well, and he kind of pushes up this set of spectacles he's got, and he throws the glove down and starts flipping through a book that's on the side. He's already got a little bit of spray of, innards on the book. No, when they are young, they are often still nursed. Still nursed by one of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And those, my goodness, the parents, you see this? And he tosses the staff on the ground. It would be nearly twice the size.
And would that be maybe akin to a human, where you would have one child normal at a time? Or would that be akin to a snake, where they lay a clutch of eggs?
Only one, usually. The first will then consume the others.
Ah.
As I said, the only thing greater than the number of teeth, and he kind of pokes at one of the hundreds, if not thousands, of teeth inside, greater in a land shark, is its hunger.
Okay. So we'll probably need to head back in that direction and take care of that eventually, too.
Wait, did you see a second?
No, but I'm simply thinking, if this is an infant and it was in a location, it would not have been far from a parent, based on what you've told me so far. Which means there would be at least one other that is an adult in some area. I would say Isle.
And where did you say you found this one?
Let's see, that was to the north of the river. I don't even remember the name of the woods there. Let me see. Oh, I was fixing to pull up.
Outside of the redwood?
Yes. Yes, it was at the redwood.
The western
northern side
of the redwood. On the northern bank or the southern bank?
Pretty sure it was the north that we headed towards, that we got stuck at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh.
At least I remembered that much.
He kind of staggers back and then sits down in a stool. Oh my. Oh my.
Well?
Well, perhaps its mother was killed. I've heard say that dragons find these quite succulent. Perhaps it was an orphan and was uninjured in the dragon attack that killed its mother.
And that's a possibility too.
Most
That is a possibility.
Chael, I know that I'm not one of your kind, but perhaps you could slip in a small prayer to your god on my behalf. I would be ever so appreciative.
Indeed, I pray for this town as a whole. This is a place where we are welcomed, regardless of who we are.
He looks back over at the staff that he's got that mark on for the size of the bite, and just seems to be staring at that.
Don't let it trouble you.
Maybe pray twice?
Of course.
Okay.
To ease your mind, my friend.
So, the fifth day comes. Still no sign of Max. By that point, you guys are free to... if you would have thought of any precautions or plans that you would have made, or ideas, what are you thinking?
Somebody remind me who Max is, please.
The Weirbear.
Oh.
Our young ranger friend.
Yeah. So where did we last leave him?
Max left after the fight with the Boule. He nearly died in it. And then after that fight, he was still going to bring word to Kuiper about the orcs.
Okay.
Because there was some talk about how...
Yeah,
there was such... to get... For the orcs to make... I don't know if you were here for the session when you guys made it to... to the way to get down into the Great Rock Dale, but it's a pain in the ass. It's like a 600 or whatever foot cliff. Maybe it's only 200, but it's a huge cliff that leads down into like a basin that is the Great Rock Dale. So to get yourselves up, complete with riding lizards and whatever else, that's a bit of a pain. And generally, you don't come out unless you've been driven out because you are a part of a weaker tribe, like the kobolds or the goblins that are driven out, or that you're on a mission.
And the orcs are slaving.
And the orcs are slaving, that's right, yeah, too.
They're slaving, they're looking for people to sell. Or eat.
Oops.
So then, we'll pick, I think Druin and Chael were the ones who... Calidor, you're likely... Because you have to train as a thief, right?
Oh, fighter.
Oh, as a fighter.
Trained my thief.
Oh, yeah, you trained as a thief already. Okay. So then, you guys will be heading up. So maybe it's all three of you who are sort of waiting for the opportunity to head up to Palfrey's Keep still. What have you guys been doing on these 5 days?
Well, Calidor would have been investigating these lizard people, talking to people that have had run-ins with them, learning about them, maybe just venturing out a little bit in the area to see if he can see any tracks, or maybe some of the nearby farms or homes that have been ransacked, to just check it out. So
what you find is, there has been a number of attacks, within a day's travel away from Thermaster. There's even been, you've heard, some as far as the edge of Palfrey's domain right around the Half-Cut Hills. So it's... they're definitely venturing out. You find easily a lot of tracks of lizard folk.
Okay.
Druin and Chael, what would you have been doing during that time?
Well, Druin is... If the guys are paying attention, they probably notice a whole different side of Druin that they pretty much never see. Because he's continuously buying food for kids and playing with youngsters and whatnot. And he seems very different, very jovial and happy and friendly, even though they're, just a bunch of human kids or whatever, not dwarven. He's quite taken with hanging out with them.
If you do want to help, if you do have time to spare and you're inclined to do it, the living conditions of the refugees is pretty abysmal.
Oh yeah, Druin can help out. He'll go grab that guy who Toster said was a carpenter.
Yep.
And he'll ask if he knows anybody else that's good with tools. And Druin Druin will go around and start getting up supplies, and if there is none, we'll talk to what's the name of the guy who's the marshal for the town, or the...
That is, I think it is, Squire Marlin. With the really high voice. The one that the kids make fun of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is quite happy to, he's quite happy you're back. I'm going to spare my voice and yourselves the rigmarole of talking to him. If you do want to talk to him about anything, but he's quite thrilled to that, quite thrilled that you're back, and knows that Count Palfrey, though he's taken ill, will be quite thrilled to see you back. He is assuming that you guys are going to hunt down the lizard folk. Wonderful.
Yeah, well, and we're not going to get... If you're not going to roleplay his voice, then I won't either. I'll just, Druin wants to get permission to maybe erect some more weather-resistant structures for these folks that are here, and he'll help pay for some of the materials and labor and whatnot.
I think that the attitude he has is that, well, we don't want to make them think they need to live here permanently. They can't live here permanently. They need to work their fields. The taxes are owed to Count Palfrey.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that, but while they're here, they can't sleep on the ground.
I think because of your standing, and with Palfrey, he'll bend. Either you get the sense, or he expressly tells you, like, they've asked for this kind of thing before, and what he tells you is the sentiment in town is that it should not be. And he keeps repeating the same phrasing too. Like, we don't want to. They need to work the fields. They need to pay, and blah, blah, blah. Over the next couple of days, you hear that once or twice verbatim from someone else, and then you loudly hear Weismar say that, and you suddenly get a sense of, like, oh, this is where this is coming from.
Okay.
Imagine a gregarious sort of bartender who's used to saying the same thing over and over again, only this time his ire is directed solely towards those folks who are hiding behind the walls to not die at the hands of the lizard folk. Unfortunately, he has the ear of, it seems, many people in town. Calidor, if you talk to Baranus, she's got that sense. She's keeping her head down because she doesn't know which way the wind is going to go, but Squire Marlin seems to have, with Count Palfrey ill and not able to give specific direction on it, it seems like Squire Marlin's just sort of been persuaded by Weismar. However, you guys are more impressive. You guys are you're the giant friends. So they are much more impressed with you and will let you do that. In fact, he suggests that you take materials. If they're not rotted, the town, you may remember, used to extend out quite a bit, but 80 years ago it was destroyed during the last invasion of the lizard folk. See the abandoned buildings outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of material out there you're free to use, and the woods are not far away. So if you want to fell that, you're welcome to do it.
Yeah, there's no work in the winter, and these people need shelter.
And I'm thinking, once it dawns on Druin where the source of this is coming from, he's not a let's politic this out the nice way. He's more of a I'm going to stick my gauntlet down your throat unless you So he invites Chael and Calidor for a drink at the tavern.
Okay.
And he'll warn them in advance that we need to have a nice polite chat with the bartender guy there. He's
Weismar.
The one who's spreading all Weismar. He's the one who's spreading all this. They need to be in their fields.
Chael's got to make sure he's with Druin to keep him on a leash. That's kind of how Chael feels about Druin. He loves him to death because he's a brother in the faith, but man, that boy needs a leash.
I love the good cleric, bad cleric.
Yeah. Good cleric, bad cleric. Yeah, very much.
Okay. So, Calidor, let's say this happens about day 3. So it's before it becomes apparent that Max, because then that would probably be the most thing that's most prominent in your mind. Calidor, you see, let's say that Chael was in the meeting with Squire Marlin as well.
You guys are out and you grab Caldor, and Caldor, you've spent and adventured with Druin long enough to know when, like, Chael's walking behind Druin. You see this maybe from a distance. Druin comes storming out of the thing. Chael's behind, saying something to him, and you recognize he's like, okay, let's just give it a second, and we'll think this through. But Druin has that, like, it's the look he has when, like, someone has either thoroughly pissed him off or when he's about to jam one of his, battle axes into someone's face. What do you do, Caldor?
He'll put his hand. Druin. What do you hope to accomplish?
Well, these people have nowhere to go because lizard folk are out there attacking their farms and stuff. So they're here. They have nowhere. And Weissmar's basically spreading crap around town that these people should leave.
Well, what if instead of starting a fight, we build them a place?
That's only one of the problems. The other problem is still needs to fix. We need to get Weissmar to stop saying what he's saying.
Okay. And what do you plan to say to him?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Kick some
That's why
dirt.
I'm here. It might behoove you to figure that out first before going.
All right, so let's do this. Chael, you pretend you're Weissmar. No, Caldor, you pretend you're Weissmar. And Chael, if I look like I'm going to punch Caldor, stop me. We're going to pretend that we're having a conversation like we're having in the tavern, and then... Is that what you mean? Like, figure it out?
To some extent, but you can think through it. Look,
All right, Caldor. If I hear you say that about the refugees one more time, I'm going to come in here and jam my gauntlet down your throat. How's that?
not exactly the best direction. Think about what Weissmar wants. What does he want? What
He
purpose?
wants people to buy eel pies. That suck. They're terrible. Even Dorman
Druin.
doesn't like them.
But he has a business. Okay?
All right. Yep.
So he wants to maintain his business.
Yep.
So the way to negotiate is to show him how what we're doing with these refugees benefits his business.
Right. There's more people to buy his shitty eel pies.
Oh, less of the shitty, and yes, of course, the eel
Okay.
pie. So we need to explain that to him.
If
Not
the refugees
without
weren't just
this.
sitting around, they could buy eel pies, and they basically need jobs then.
Exactly, they need jobs. So where do the eels come from for the eel pies?
Maybe they could catch eels instead of farming.
Now,
So you want to
now
turn farmers
you're
into
getting
eel
a fan
catcher?
for it. Now you're thinking.
All right, so we got farmers turning to becoming eel catchers, who then sell their eels to the tavern, and they come in sometimes and buy eel pies, and everybody. But if he still says that, I want to punch him.
Okay, we need to work on this violence as the first answer thing.
What are you talking about? Violence isn't the first answer. I'm going to threaten him first.
Okay, we need to back up then perhaps and suggest that the implied violence is not the first
Okay,
thing.
I got you.
We use our words first, and then we present our force. Carrot first, stick later.
This is a different tactical strategy that I'm used to, Chael, but I'm going to put it in my repertoire.
I understand that. I think you can I think Clangadon would be most impressed by that avenue of negotiation.
Anything you want to add, Calidor? I didn't even look like I was going to punch Calidor. I think this is a win.
I think Calidor's glad you didn't.
Of course.
Do we have some idea of how much a laborer would cost for us to hire?
Yeah, let me see here.
Just before I suggest this to Druin as an option and the rest of the team, I want to make sure it makes some sense.
Yeah, that'll be in the prices for that'll be in DMG. Monthly wage for a laborer is 1 gold piece.
Yeah, see, so Calidor will point this out. He would say, with our new gold, we have 2,000 gold on hand. We could use this gold, and as a group, we could hire a bunch of these men as laborers. We could gather up the raw materials from the abandoned buildings just outside of the city wall. And right there on the east side of the wall, we could build a new fort, a place to protect the people from the lizard attacks if they return, but also with housing for the laborers to stay. We would be paying them gold, which would give them income. They'd be able to spend that gold here in the town and support the economy. And
are you thinking of something that would adjoin the new defenses, or are you thinking something that's
basically, or like maybe just inside of it, like because it's like built by the giants, right? Is that?
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. Is because the
like against the wall there's sort of like between the squire's house and the tavern, there's sort of like a fairly large segment where we could build something.
Yep.
And it's close to the wall there, and on the same side where all those abandoned buildings are.
Mm-hmm.
We could build it. I mean, we could build most of it on the town side, and we could potentially build some, ramparts and some of the defensive stuff outside the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then build a method to get over the wall, in and out there, like not through the gate, through a defensive build there.
Mentioned defense,
maybe
you could also
look at and kick that guy out.
Oh, sorry guys. Will, what were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, since he mentioned defensive, you could even go so far as to look at things like, they could build some pit traps. They could build, I don't know what the proper word is. I think about the things from D-Day when they're set up on the beach. But those types of...
yeah, I know. Tank killers, aren't they called? Or tank...
Yeah, but you could build those types of things to kind of slow in advance, outside the wall, to help with that.
Mm-hmm. Dave, what were you saying? Sorry.
We could just buy the tavern and kick this pansy out.
Druin, relax.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Allies here in the community. Change them by showing actions, positive actions.
One of the people, you guys talking, you're kind of like celebrities in town. So I think that when someone says that, a woman steps forward who's got 3 children with them, and she says, "If you buy it, I will work for you." And someone else says, "I will as well."
Don't encourage him, people. Don't encourage him.
You see, Weismar's been the one, he controls the majority of the food that comes in. Do you know what he does? He charges us triple what it costs him to come in.
Well, that's called capitalism, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm taking 2 levels in marks.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of I think that Calidor might even say it. I don't think we have the wealth to acquire the tavern.
Yeah, that's probably...
2,000 would hire us. I mean, maybe you can tell us different, Kev, but 2,000 would hire us.
Yeah, I don't...
Labor, our own structure. And with our own We could also set up our own food system. You know, we could bring our own food into town, and we could feed our men ourselves. If there's an option in town, he'll have to lower his prices if he wants to draw some of the coin we're paying them away from the food option that we bring in.
To be honest, a tavern, like 2,000-3,000 gold would be a tough thing to pass up as a if you think
A tavern.
Yeah.
But you would still need someone to manage it while we were in, wherever, while we were in the swamp, wherever that was. So you need to think about these things.
We could do both. We could purchase the tavern and also build up some more protective structures that include housing for the refugees.
I think we could just have a conversation with them and no threats and just say, ask them why.
Yeah, that was kind of my original point. We need to discuss with him. We need to parlay on, why are you so concerned in the winter when there's very little to do in the fields of people working fields that can't be worked?
Well, then let us speak with him.
What's he got against the refugees that he's got to charge them triple for the same food?
Fair.
Yep.
Okay. So then, what do you guys wish to do?
I think we're going to the tavern.
Yeah, step one, I guess, is go to the tavern.
Okay. So you guys walk in, and you can see...
I don't bring any weapons.
Okay. As you walk in, you can hear kind of... Weismar is talking to a group of maybe 3 or men at the bar, like right at the bar, and kind of finishes. And you hear that kind of like forced, harsh laughter that just like dickheads do. And then he looks over. He says something to them. All 3 men look over at you guys and kind of... And Weismar... just like you see in the illustration, is rubbing a cup out, and he says, "So you've decided to join me, then? You decided to grace my establishment with your presence for the first time, okay? We'll take a seat anywhere you like."
Situation far too simplistically. It's not a question of with you or against you. It's a question of beneficial for you or not beneficial.
Oh, they say that they live forever. Is that why they take so long to get to the point? And then again, those 3 dickheads. Take a seat where you were. I'll be over with you once I'm finished up with my paying customers.
He pulls out a gold coin and puts it down on the counter. Says, "When you get time."
Okay. He makes you wait about 5 minutes before he even moves over, takes the gold coin. He pours 3 mugs, brings them over, and then as like callously as he can, puts them down. "I would have had the girls do this for you, but I've had to let them go. Can I interest you in food as well, or?"
Why'd you have to let the girls go?
Discuss a business proposition.
What's your business proposition then, Elf?
Well, first a question. What is your concern with farmers being unable to tend their fields in a season when fields cannot be tended?
He looks over at his allies, and they're all kind of watching the 3. You see, they can't even come and stand up for themselves. The first opportunity, they come to these 3, crying and saying they're poor.
Chael looks around, and I assume this table that you're talking about is really the only other occupants in here.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
They're not even the table. You can picture that when you walk in, the bar is on the far side. Those three dickheads are sitting at one end where he was. There's nobody else in here. This could easily accommodate 100 people. There's nobody else in this place.
Well, it seems your demand has virtually vanished.
And they say that elven eyes are good.
So...
Anything to eat then, elf, or...
What have you got?
A which?
What have you got?
Eel pies.
Didn't Dorman say he liked the eel pies, Chael? I'll try one.
Very well. Let me get you an eel pie, Master Dwarf. For the others, he looks at you, Calidor. Anything to eat for you, or is it?
No.
No, I would think that our menu would not agree with your palate. And he turns and
You've read that one right.
walks away. And the three guys don't know whether to laugh or not because they're not sure if he got the better of that exchanger or not. So he heads back in, comes out, and he gives a look to the three men, and they're kind of as he brings over the pie, puts it down. Druin, it smells fucking horrible.
Yeah, I'm a dwarven constitution for a reason.
Yeah. So,
Druin's literally taking to heart all the stuff that Chael said about, being not aggressive, and
there you go. Good man.
He's literally going to take a bite of eel pie and force a grin at the bartender guy. It's like, it's like, I'm eating your fucking eel pie, buddy. You better fucking enjoy it.
So it's terrible. The worst, it's just awful. I'm picturing, imagine something that is like soggy bread with a fishy flavor to it, but it's also chewy. And for some reason,
Rubbery.
There's burned little bits of raisin or something in their currants, maybe, to make it up, along with undercooked potatoes, so they're crunchy still.
I look at Wisemar and I say, I can see why you have no customers.
Indeed. More keen elven eyesight. Huh. And he turns and makes his way back to the bar. He says something to the three dickheads again and again. And they all look back at you guys to make sure you know that they're laughing at you. He gets behind the bar. Druin, you keep choking your way through this pie or what?
I'll eat some of it.
Okay.
But I'm not going to make myself sick over it.
That might be too late. When you've taken one or two bites of it, Weismar then shouts from across the bar, "And how is the pie to your liking, Master Dwarf?" I hear that your kind and have sturdy constitutions. Rock stomachs, I hear.
Yeah.
And one of the guys says,
Yeah.
"They eat metals."
Yeah, we're used to resisting poison when we eat.
Oh, so give us a quick save versus poison. You do get your poison bonus against this for your dwarvish constitution.
You gotta make this.
Yeah.
I mean, great, you got 3 astonishing fortune if you don't, but...
Oh, no!
I only rolled a 3.
You want to spend astonishing fortune?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so your stomach, it gurgles when you hit it. Let's spend astonishing fortune. Let's see. There you go. Oh, yeah, that stuff's not... it's not sitting great, but it's not a problem. Whew. But probably no more. So, what do you guys wish to do now then? He's still at the bar, kind of talking to the guys, and every now and then they'll look back at you, but otherwise they're not going to further provoke you.
We still need to figure out what his problem is with refugees. I don't think his problem is with refugees. I think he's just an asshole.
Well, I, for one, have had enough of their company. Calidor will walk up to the bar.
I mean, one of the things that you guys would know, right? Like there was, if this guy was the place that everyone went to for food and whatever else afterwards, you guys did have that, went to that food cart thing, and that seemed a lot busier than what the Hound and Tail ever was.
Yeah, like if even without the refugees and without the food cart, there's still enough locals living in this town to populate this place and for him to be...
Unless they're getting their stuff from elsewhere.
Right.
Then how does it keep its doors open?
But if he, what I'm saying is there's enough people that if his food was good and his service was good, he'd be busy.
Right. And I'm kind of curious. I mean, taking what you're saying a step further, how is he affording to stay in business?
Well,
I've had enough of this, and Calidor will get up and walk over to Westmar.
mm-hmm.
He'll put his hand on the hilt of his sword, and he'll look at him and he says, How much for the whole thing and you gone? And think long and hard about your price. And look him right in the eye. How much gold for you to be gone today?
And he looks back. What do you mean?
I mean, we buy this tavern from you, and you're gone up the river, down the river. We don't care.
What makes you think that you have enough to pay me, to buy me out?
Look at this place. You don't have a customer here. These fools, these lapdogs are your customers?
And why do you think that is? Huh? And they kind of like,
Because you're giving them away goods? How long will this last? You think you can hold out the winter? Sure. Next season? I don't think so. This is your chance. Move on. Start again somewhere else. We'll pay you a fair price, but that's it. Name it.
You having the money. You
We
bluff.
Did you not see that beast we brought into town?
I heard.
That alone would buy this establishment.
And he looks at them. He's trying to judge. Fine. 5,000. 5,000 gold.
Druin spits pile over the place.
An establishment as storied and as reputable as this, the legacy for this, it's a bargain. Though I think perhaps these heroes, they like to put on airs of riches and have not the coins to rub together, right? All the dickheads laugh.
We have the coin, but not your outrageous price. We're not paying an inflated double the value price.
Oh, they haven't the coins now.
Triple the value. Calidor, we could build one for less. Run our own. Run him into the ground. Let's do it. Let's go, Chael.
We'll see how
You
this
have a
plays
choice.
out for you, Westmar. I think you made a bad decision today.
I did. I welcomed you into my tavern.
I haven't yet had a single sip of my beer that he served me.
Yep.
I'll pour it out onto his floor and pass him back his mug and say, I'd ask the girls to mop it up, but I guess that's you now. And I'll leave.
So
Well,
Calvin
that
walks
worked
out. Chael and Druin, what do you guys do?
Come on, Druin.
Yep, I'll head out.
Chael looks back from the doorway. You had your chance, and you blew it. And with that, he leaves.
Okay.
Druin walks up to the bar.
Now, wait a minute, you're still starting me out, damn it.
Nope.
You started me out.
Nope. Druin walks up to the bar and says, "The refugees didn't put us up to this, you fool. And if I hear anything about you barking about the refugees anymore, or if I hear any reprisal against them, oh, there'll be a problem. A problem you'll never regret." And then he storms out.
Okay. All right. So with that, guys, we will bring our session to a close. So, for those listening at home, well, first of all, let's get some XP going. How many points of Astonishing Fortune are left? 2? 2. All right. And...
His iron gut wasn't so iron.
Yeah.
It was more like, I had like gnome gut today instead of dwarf gut.
All right.
Eel pie was a real test.
Which was the real test?
The eel pie.
Oh, yeah.
My test is to keep Druin from causing problems. That's my...
Whoa!
Yay. Guys, everyone's going to earn, before your XP bonus, you guys will each be earning 134 XP. That's 134.
Yeah.
We also got that 2,000 to add to the pot, too. So, excellent. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 92 of our ongoing Night Below campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, you can, while you are down there, you can find a link to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where you can join all of us. And we have channels dedicated to this game, this campaign, and all the other campaigns we run on the channel. You are more than welcome to join us over there. We have tons of great folks on each of the channels. We have channels dedicated to finding a group, so if you're looking for people to play with, you may be able to find some folks there. You may be able to find conversation about assorted games. You can find information about upcoming conventions, advice on setting up virtual tabletops or selecting between them, and pictures of everyone's pets. So lots of great folks over there. Lots of great, lots of great discussion. In addition, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, and you can find me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. If you're following the Dungeon Musings podcast as well, too, I just recorded and posted the first episode for 2021, so you can find a link to that in the description of the video as well. And from now until April 1st, 2021, we are running our first charity raffle for the year. And the grand prize for that is a copy of the Platinum Edition Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden that has been very generously donated to us by our friends at Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse. It's this amazing, like, originally $500 product. It's got tons of great stuff in there. If you're a fan of the old school and you're a fan in particular of the Night Below box set, it's like that, but supercharged. Tons of great stuff. That is the grand prize. The second prize is a copy of Beetle and Grimm's Silver Edition, Rime of the Frost Maiden. And there are a number of other prizes as well, too, including a bunch of great stuff from the Dungeon Musings Red Bubble Shop, and an awesome chainmail dice bag crafted by our very own Dave, the resident armorsmith. In addition, so the way that works is you can follow a link to the Heroes Save Villages campaign, which benefits the SOS Children's Villages International charity, a charity active in over 130 countries. Benefits over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children from around the world. It is an amazing organization that helps out kids who could really use some help. And for every $25 that you donate, you get one chance to win one of those awesome prizes. In addition, if you go to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, you can find the Charity Initiatives tab, where donors are able to make other, do other things, including this coming Friday, we have our first charity session for the year. And if you make a donation between now and Friday, or if you have made one and you haven't posted, you can actually use the amount of your donation to buy some gear for our heroes, so you can help them face the terrors that will be found beyond the mists of Ravenloft, because on Friday, our session is called A Funeral in Barovia. So, lots of great stuff you can do to interact with the channel with your donations. Lots of great gaming stuff you can win with your donations. And best of all, you can help out some kids who could really use some help. So, all wins in the win column. Speaking of winners, let me say a thank you to the players for today. So, Jeffrey, Will, Dave, thank you so much for joining me on this hump day. It's been a crazy day with the windstorm that's been here, so this was a welcome way to spend the evening. Thank you so much for playing today, guys.
Thanks, Kev.
Enjoy.
Fun.
Awesome. So then, for those listening at home, if you are joining us during the current crisis, we do hope that this finds you healthy, safe, and that you're weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. It's kind of a crazy time for everybody all around. We hope that we've given you a couple of hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes continue to get themselves into, including, potentially, the food service industry. And until we see you again, happy gaming,